Katowice is the heart of the Silesian region. This city in the south of Poland cannot boast of a long history, but managed to become an industrial, cultural and scientific center. In this video we will see what is interesting about Katowice and what makes it unique among other Polish cities. Hello everyone from Katowice. Only 30 years ago it was disgusting city, one of the worst cities in Poland, with terrifying ecology, with a lot of mines of industrial objects. And now it is one of the best cities in the whole country, with really a lot of green zones, with a lot of new buildings, with a lot of new senses in the city. And now it's a student city, now it's also a very sports city. A lot of events are going on in the city right now, and let's see how does it change and why now it is so great city of Poland. And of course, let's start from the heart of the city. Let's go to the mine. Of course, inside isn't mine. Right now it's only a museum, museum of Silesia, and it's a really great museum. You can find a lot of different expositions from history of Silesia, not only Katowice but the whole region. And the museum is located in the place of mine, where the mine were earlier. It's 10-12 meters under the ground. And now you can find a really interesting exposition, not only about Silesia, but also of contemporary art. And it's a nice place to visit in Katowice, to find something from the history of the city, but it's made really good, and it will be interesting even from someone who don't like history. And now in Katowice there is no a lot of mines, but we still can find 2 working mines and 4 iron factories that are also working right now in Katowice. And you should definitely not only go to the museum, to this mine, Katowice mine, but also walk around it, because here we can find a really nice green zone with a lot of different spots, like a garden and also a labyrinth. I'm sitting in the center of this labyrinth right now, and not a big deal from one side. Yeah, we can find a lot of different labyrinths in a lot of cities, but here it is made like a map of Katowice. Right now I'm sitting on the railway, and it is exactly the plan of the city. Of course, of center of the city, because Katowice is quite big city, because here were mines, a lot of mines in this region, and a lot of buildings. They were constructed near the mines. That's why it has so uncommon structure. This Katowice and also other cities of this region, but it's quite interesting and looking nice right now when you can make a lot of green zones. And also this labyrinth, if you are going to Katowice with your child, you can play with him or with her in this labyrinth, and he or she will be looking for you really long if you want to hide from your child here. And also we can find here a building of symphonic orchestra of Katowice, new building in this territory, and also a lot of renovations are going on right now, and I think that in 2-3 years here will be a lot of new spots, a lot of new interesting activities, so it's only going on, and even now it is great, but soon it will be even better.
Come tend the garden with me. We have so many seeds to sow. When the harvest comes in, it will be time to share what we have grown. We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy, but I'm noticing lately we've been half-hearted. West Side Story.
In Soviet period, in Katowice appeared a lot of block buildings. Some of them are really gigantic, but you can find here not only them, but also some really interesting buildings, like the stadium. It is Spodek. Its name is Spodek, or UFO in English. And first they decided to build it somewhere near Katowice or in some faraway part of Katowice, but at the end they constructed it in the city center, and now it's one of the main symbols of the city. And here you can find a lot of different sport events, some also concerts, and even some more modern events like Cybersportive championship. IAM Katowice, really well known in the world. It is also held here, and it looks really nice in the city center of Katowice. It suits the city really well, and I'm happy that it is now in Katowice.
West Side Story don't feel pretty anymore. We were having the time of our lives when we started. Everything was groovy, but I'm noticing lately we've been half-hearted. West Side Story don't feel pretty. West Side Story don't feel pretty. West Side Story don't feel pretty. West Side Story.
And I also remember my first impressions of Katowice. I was there first time in my life. I think it was in 2016 or 2017, and I made a small bike journey in Poland, and also 2 days I spent here in Katowice. As I remember, I slept in different districts of this city, and I remember park, Silesian Park, which will be in this video too, and also I had feeling that it's a very active city with a lot of things going on here. And even when I was walking in Katowice at this time, I saw a cycling race. It was Tour de Pologne. It is usually held here in Silesia, and it was an interesting experience for me because I never saw bike races, cycling races before. Um, and a lot of other interesting buildings, a lot of other interesting things, and it looked like it is a city more for locals, not a lot of tourists here, but a lot of things that are made for local citizens, and it's great. It's great, I think, that for any city, because first of all, you need to do something for locals.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it to write you this song?
Also, we can find a very interesting monument, stunning monument to Silesian rebellions. And after the World War I, when it was finished, it was a question if Silesia, this region, should be part of Poland or part of Germany. Because previously it was a part of German Empire and a small part in Austro-Hungarian Empire. And also elections was held, and 60% they said that they want to be in Germany. Here in Katowice, exactly here, I think it was nearly 80% for Germany. A lot of Polish voters were not in the cities, but in some villages. But here were also three rebellions, three Silesian rebellions, and after the third one, Katowice became part of Poland, and it's a monument to these rebellions. But anyway, even now, this region is really interesting because in 2011, when the counting of the nation was held, here in Silesia region and in Katowice, 25% in citizens of Katowice, to the question of their nationality, they answered that they are Silesian nationality. Not Polish nationality, but Silesian. Every fourth people of Katowice, they answered that they are Silesian. And it's really interesting because it's the only region in Poland where we can find another nationality, but from locals.
I'm still in this fight. I pray for the night to go easy on me. You keep blowing me out, I keep holding you in. I keep asking myself, oh, why do you still hurt? Why do you still hurt? Why do you still
Now I'm standing on the market square of Katowice, and it's the center of the city, but it's not a big historical site. Here we can find a little bit modern market square, what is really uncommon in Poland. Yes, of course, you can find a theater building here and some more or less old buildings too. But mostly we can find something modern, a lot of different buildings from Soviet period, and of course the city is quite young, only 157 years right now, because even now we have celebration of Cities Day. And even this market square, it hasn't some paved stones like most squares here in Poland, and it's divided on three main parts, three small squares. I think that less than 10 years ago it was renovated. A lot of changes to this square, a lot of green zones were added, and also now is a program here in Katowice to make city more green. A lot of parkings, they will be transformed to small parks, to green zones, and I think it's a great way to develop the city.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom.
And after the renovation of Market Square, here were added two very interesting moments. First one is about palms. Of course, Katowice doesn't have the best climate for palms because it's really cold in the winter right here, but you can find four palms on the Market Square of Katowice. And originally they were bought in Gliwice. It's another Polish city not far away from Katowice, where the Palmernia is located, or a place where locals grow different palms, and each winter they took them away to this Palmernia, and only in the warm period of the year the palms, these four palms, they are located in the center of Katowice. Now they are relocating them in the winter to the different place already in Katowice, but originally it was from Gliwice. And the second interesting moment is about the river, because earlier here were a river, and you can even find it next after the Market Square, but it is collected and it is flowing underground here on the Market Square. And on the surface you can also find some small silhouette of this river, and it looks really nice, and it shows that the river is under your foot, and it is also a part of the city. Of course, if we will be talking about architecture styles, different styles in Katowice, to be honest, we can find a lot of different old buildings here. It is a quite new city, and it's hard to find some Gothic buildings and other old buildings. There are not so much of them in Katowice. But here we can find a very unique style. It is a style of Familiox, and it comes from German, Familienblock. It is a type of buildings, type of apartments that were built for miners, for some workers on factories, and mostly it was built in 19th century, at the beginning of 20th century, and it's something similar to the buildings that are behind me. And they usually built from bricks. They were with some apartments for families of workers. Usually it was something near 35-40 square meters per one apartment, and 6 to 8 people usually lived in it. And usually they also worked together. That's why it was a really friendly neighborhood where almost everyone knew each other. And also one very interesting element of this family locks is the windows, because windows were painted in red or green colors. Yes, now not always you can find it in Katowice, because a lot of them were already renovated, but there are some family locks that are part of history, and they also have a protection from the government. Especially there are some districts like Katowice in Katowice. You can also find a video on my channel about Katowice. It is really picturesque district of Katowice. You can find it also in other cities of Silesia, but even here in Katowice, when you are walking in almost any district of the city, you can find some family locks that will be located in different places. Now I'm standing in Silesia Park, and it's a brilliant park in this region, brilliant park, part of Katowice. Here you can walk, I don't know, even hours and hours, because it's huge. It's a massive park with a lot of different objects, really interesting objects, such as different lakes, stadium, ponds, some Japanese gardens, zoo, planetarium, and other interesting objects. You can even go on the trolley lane through this park and see it from the upside. To be honest, it's not even a part of Katowice. Officially, it's part of Chorzów, a different city here in this city agglomeration, because Katowice is not only about this city, but also about different towns and cities that are near, such as Ruda Śląska, Chorzów, Sosnowiec, and others. And often you don't even understand that you are already in a different city. Here is a really great public transport system, and usually you can even live in another city, not in Katowice, and it will be even closer to the Katowice city center than some districts of officially Katowice. But not about the agglomeration today, about this park. It's really fantastic, with a lot of stunning views, with a lot of territories, and it's really nice green zone of Katowice. So here I am finishing this video. Subscribe to this channel for new travel videos, type comments, and see you in other videos. Bye!